actually would have shortened the journey tremendously was taking your first shots class.
Aw.
Because
This is not a paid endorsement, but I am a brand ambassador for Heckler & Koch for a reason. HK firearms are incredibly high quality, and when it's time to step up out of the entry tier, they're the only ones I recommend. You carry a gun just in case. Shouldn't it be an HK just in case?
do
That
they
means
know,
a lot
do
to
they
me.
know about this class?
I think so. I don't know,
Okay,
actually,
well, I'm
honestly.
going to, so in Carrie's first shot, and if you are not local to her and can't travel to her, I'm sure there's other instructors.
I'm sure there's other instructors that do
Know
it.
this, I will tell you, not all instructors instruct the same way. Not every instructor is good for every student.
Sure,
Just like
sure.
Dave Spaulding that came, that is
Yeah,
a
it was
good
amazing.
instructor.
And we
So-
might have to do, we take one class and it might
Yeah.
not, but just not stopping and trying another one, because there will be one.
Sure, but her class, if there's a similar class in your area,
Mm-hmm.
first shots where the student gets to handle and fire multiple different firearms,
Yeah,
different
like up to
calibers,
20 different.
all kinds of different,
Yeah, different handguns.
makes and models and everything.
Yep.
Back to back, so it's a consecutive class where you're
Yeah.
trying them all in one day at one time.
Yep.
You don't get that anywhere else.
No, it's
Otherwise,
just
you're
like-
renting a gun, trying it. What do I like about you returning it, running a different gun next weekend? What do I like?
Yeah.
You cannot compare them equally that
Yeah.
way. So, I know we're probably talking to a lot of women, but
Yeah.
my husband took this class with me.
He did?
And it was a game changer for both of us.
Yeah.
We both have different concealed carry guns after going through
Yeah.
the class than we had before. So, and it was
Well, and you
eye-opening,
have
so,
such
yeah.
articulable, logical reasons
Mm-hmm.
for your, and you're right. I mean, if you have no choice but to make this particular gun work for you, and a lot of people don't even know that it doesn't work for them because they don't shoot enough. One of the things that I've been painfully aware of is we just aren't a nation of shooters. We're a nation of gun buyers,
Yeah,
but we're
or
not a
sit in
nation
the
of
box,
shooters.
keep it in the box,
Yeah,
or what are they called? Safe queens.
yeah,
Right,
exactly,
safe queens.
exactly.
Okay,
yeah. But we just don't shoot much, and so sometimes people don't even realize they don't shoot enough to realize that that it is uncomfortable or
Mm-hmm.
causes them pain or whatever. But just the there's so many options now.
Yeah.
The times we live in, it blows my mind, the options that we have. And you're right, being able to try them side by side is huge.
Yeah.
I know that there's a lot of gun ranges that will rent guns. You can rent, like, let's say, they'll even have free gun rentals. We have them
Oh.
local here.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
fantastic.
so
Okay.
the way it works, and I understand, and I know that there's people that watch this, like I think Miss Katie and Mr. Jesse, who own a gun range in back east. I won't say where, just in case I shouldn't. And then Miss Karen also. But it's not easy owning a gun range,
Oh, sure.
and there's not a lot
Yeah.
of money in guns.
Yeah.
But typically the way it works around here is you'll rent 2 guns of the same caliber. They'll have free gun rentals, so you buy the ammo from them. But you're only able to take 2 guns at a time to the range, which I think is fine.
Yeah.
And I understand why they have to do it. We just have to dedicate a little more time to that because where, like in first shots, I don't remember exactly how many guns we had when you guys took the class, but
Several.
yeah, we try to have
Yeah.
between 15 and 20 different semi-automatic, like 9mm. We have some 380s too, but
And 22s,
And
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's
Yeah,
how
we
I
all start with the
started.
22s,
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
But to be able to compare them side by side and
Yeah.
say, okay, these are the 3 I like,
Yep.
or these are the 4 I like, and then we put those in the same lane.
Yes.
And then the side by side, like you mentioned, comparison can be really helpful for folks, and even just friends. If you have friends that have firearms that you want to try, being able to compare them side by side is huge. I think huge for people. All right, let's see. Question number 4. Has your gear approach or training changed along your journey, and how?
Oh boy. So yes, it's been a pendulum
boy.
for me. Yeah.
Okay.
So at first I went all in. We are
Sure.
talking tactical clothing. We're talking carrying my
I
firearm.
didn't know that
Oh,
side.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
we
my
got to talk about that
This is
sometime. That'd be
before
fun.
I met you, but yeah.
That's okay. That's
so,
okay.
So tactical clothing, carrying my firearm everywhere, dry fire training, live fire
Wow, yeah.
training, and then also if a place did not allow you to conceal carry, I wasn't interested in going there.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
Because if they wanted my business,
Right.
surely they would allow me the decency, the courtesy to
protect yourself.
myself. That was where I started, right?
Sure.
But it didn't stop at protecting myself. I was going to protect the whole world, okay?
I understand. Well, you're a go-getter.
Yeah,
That's why.
Dude, so I'm in a much different spot on that swing now.
Sure,
right?
sure.
So I
Sure.
want to make sure I don't forget anything. Yeah, different spot. So I still love tactical pants because they have great pockets.
Okay,
I'm
I
not
would
wearing
agree.
them today,
Yeah,
but I do love tactical
yeah,
pants.
woman pockets and women's pants. It's just they shouldn't even call them pockets. It's just so shut. It's kind of mean.
Yeah, can't even fit a quarter in there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know. So I still like tactical clothing.
Okay.
I do not carry my firearm as often as I used
Okay.
to. I do not train dry fire or live fire as often
Okay.
as I used
Okay.
to. And my husband and I love doing things and
Yeah.
going places that sadly don't allow
Some places don't allow.
firearms
That's right.
or knives or even
Right.
pepper spray.
And I just want to
So,
say for a minute,
yeah.
that is not because
Yeah.
it's the part of the country we live in. It has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes, even in Texas, even in Arizona, there are places where firearms or my favorite is when they use the word weapons. I'm like, well, wait a minute, maybe no, these aren't weapons. But but I mean, I kind of giggle a little bit when
Yeah.
but they say,
Yes, it
like
could
no
be.
weapons allowed.
Yeah.
Well, what about the chair?
Yep.
So you're not gonna have chairs for people to sit on?
Yeah.
You're not gonna have a computer monitor? I mean, of course they are going to. But
Anything
yeah.
can be a
so,
weapon,
yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not because of where we live. That
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah. Or necessarily a political agenda.
Right,
I mean,
yeah,
there's
good point.
that too. Like, it's just
So true.
humans.
Yeah.
We're just humans.
Yep.
And we all can make decisions.
Yep.
So we used to not go places that wouldn't allow us to carry
Uh-huh.
conceal, especially me. I was more that stance than my husband because my husband's much more flexible than I am. I am very controlling and rigid. So
You're not controlling. You like to be
I'd like
in
to be in
control,
control. There
which
we
is
go.
totally
Thank
fine.
you. Yes, that's
It's
what
true,
a
though.
positive spin. What a positive spin. So, but
That's
so now
so
I
funny.
carry less. I train less.
Okay.
I wear less tactical clothing. And we also go places now
Sure.
that don't allow
Sure.
any type of defensive mechanism.
Sure. Well, an actual implement, like a mechanical.
Correct. No pepper spray, no knives, no.
Right, but you
yeah.
certainly are
Yep.
prepared.
Yep.
You're prepared with your. Oh,
Yeah.
you're, okay. You're
so
going there. Go
even
ahead.
So even though we are not carrying as often as we'd like to be, we're not sitting around waiting to be victims.
Mm-hmm. exactly.
Right? So you can be empty-handed, and you can still
Make
have a
good choices.
positive outcome to a negative situation.
Yep.
You can be empty-handed and not be a victim.
Right.
It's still possible because your mindset is what matters.
You can be aware
So, yep.
and aware of your
Yep.
surroundings and scope
Be
it out before
vigilant.
you go. Yeah,
Be-
yeah.
yep.
Familiarity
Yep.
with situations and
Absolutely.
yeah, that's so true. The thing I would like to say is I appreciate you. This might ruffle some feathers, but too bad. I appreciate you saying that you guys don't necessarily like. I don't know how much you did before. I haven't. I could guess because I know you guys are go-getters. So that you don't feel like you have to spend as much time doing dry practice, and you don't have to spend as much time on the range as you were before. And what I think is awesome about that is it's not that you don't have a baseline of proficiency, because you absolutely do. You and Mr. Andrew have a phenomenal baseline of proficiency, absolutely at the professional standard, instructor standard for the, well, you do.
She's very generous.
Well,
with
but it's
her
true.
words.
I've been with you on the range, and I've seen it, and I've timed you, so I know. But it's true. And so the cool part is that once we reach a proficiency, and we maintain it, it might not take the amount of effort
Sure.
that it does. Now, if people enjoy doing that, I think that's great.
Yeah.
And I used to be embarrassed to tell people, but it's true. I'm not proud of it. I just haven't done it. I've never had a dry practice training schedule at all. Doesn't mean I don't want to. I would love to. I just am not at a point in life where I am willing to choose to spend the time to do that. I right now choose to spend time making sure that my kids have enough to eat and that I'm present. And yes, I know you can do it in 10 minutes in a given day. I totally get that. I just have not been to a point, I've not gotten to a point in life where that has become a priority for me. But I'm able to do what I need to do on the range consistently.
Yep.
But the key is, what is it I need to be able to do, right, as far as timing goes?
Yeah.
We have a really bad yellow jacket problem here. But consistency, I want to be able to make sure I can do that all the time when I step up cold.
Right.
And so once we're there, like you guys are, if
We
you
were.
Oh,
I don't know if I still am.
I can tell you about that later. Right? I know you're. But anyway, but if it feels like we're not, right?
Yeah, I do.
But let's go to the range so you can
Yeah.
prove it to yourself
Yes.
that you're there,
Yeah.
because that's important. Know that
Yeah.
we have
Oh,
the
yeah.
ability to do that.
Yep.
And then how much practice does it take to maintain that? But if I always want to improve, then I need to have things in place. But
Yes.
you're right. We don't have to spend 30 minutes a day or even 20 minutes a day to maintain a professional level of proficiency. And then we want to define that, which we already have it defined on the channel.